Greetings, royal queens and kings. It's your host, Queen Tulsa, and welcome back to the Queen Tulsa Show. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity and time to thank you all that who have subscribed to the channel, and I also want to thank those that are just now coming in. We see you all coming in. Thank you so much. All right, this is a late night talk show. Julie Chrisley, Mary J. Blige, Meek Mills, and Quavo, the latest celebrity buzz. In this compelling video, we delve into the emotional reactions of Julie Chrisley's families following the recent verdict of her resentencing on September the 25th. The former star of Chrisley Knows Best faced a judge in Atlanta where it was confirmed that her 84-month sentence would remain unchanged. Join Savannah and Chase Chrisley, along with their family attorney, Alex Little, as they expressed their deep concerns about the ruling, labeling it an injustice. Savannah passionately articulates her feelings, while Chase raises critical points regarding the integrity of the correctional system. This video captures a pivotal moment for the Chrisley family as they navigate this challenging chapter. Well, listen here, we've got a lot to get into, so let's get into it. Here, I know that we were supposed to cover so many stories, child. But listen here, we have this fresh off the press, child. Offset and his wife Cardi B has been going back and forth on social media, child. She just dropped the baby, and honey, she says she is moving on and she's moving accordingly to her feelings, child. Now get up into this. Everybody, Offset says, everybody can see I don't want you. It's okay. I'm not talking about this no more. All love. You will be calling me after a couple of months. You my baby mama. I won. Y'all, what do y'all think about this? Let's get into these comments. Child Carlissa says, oh no, he didn't. Someone says, yeah, he's hurt, but not hurt enough to walk him down, Cardi. Oh my goodness. Okay. When they think you can't live without them, do it. Someone says, finna start calling him upset. Cardi has thrown him off his game. When a Libra gets to Libraing, it's too late to talk about it. 1011 loading. My baby mama, I won. This ladies is called weaponized pregnancy. Ladies, take notes. This is a lot of their mindsets. Let this be a cautionary tale of when a man chases you only to try and humble you. There are men who will literally love bomb you, play the role, then trap you with a ring or a baby, then purposely and publicly reduce you. Baby mama is a derogatory term generally used in the Black community, placing a mother in dark light. A lot of men will purposely Do this assuming they'll always have control or access to you. This doesn't always work because not every single mother is down and out or codependent and will move the F on. He is playing the role of the typical baby daddy, claiming that he discarded her and that she is the bitter one. Next, he'll be claiming that she won't let him see the kids. I always warn married and childless women who like to shame single mothers to be careful because life has a funny way of making you the very thing you laugh at. What do y'all think about What do y'all think about that? Because they are saying that, hey La, how are you? I miss you too. La says, I miss you, Tosa. How are you? Listen here, I'm great, and it's great to be back. Listen here, it's great to be back doing what I love best. Okay. Someone says he heard my baby daddy like, I don't know, he heard my baby daddy talk like that too when I piss him off real good. Cardi, we love you. It seems as though he wanted her, but wasn't willing to do the work it took to keep her. So he kept cheating because he wasn't man enough to just leave or, do right by the woman you married. Really was better off just apologizing. But see, listen here, I don't feel bad for either one of them. And y'all might get mad at me, but let's just get into it. Cardi B has called black women roaches, and child, she has went on this whole tantrum and things like that, and just really just been doing the most. Now, listen here, we got some more tea. Shout out to Hollywood Unlocked. Russell Brand recalls very intense Diddy taking him on an enforced holiday. You can't say no to him. Y'all, let's get into this. Everybody's speaking now. Okay.
And Jonah, actually.
Jonah,
Y'all.
he's hilariously funny. I know him already, so it's a buzz to work with him. Diddy's new to me, right? He looked after me. He took me on an enforced holiday to Vegas. He's a very intense man because he's.
All right, hold on. We got Miss Law in here. She says, Gal, I saw your picture with Tasha K. She looked like she was your baby father. Get into it. Listen here. The queen was definitely queening. The celebrity was definitely celebrating up in the building. Listen here. But I'm a humble public figure, celebrity. So, I go and meet, my fans, uh, your favorite content creators. I'm definitely their guilty pleasure. Okay, they be watching, they be in the bushes. Okay, we be having fun. Shout out to Wani 11 just flew in. Let's go.
I think he come from nothing, and now he's very, very powerful. People that do stuff like that, they're intense. Now, I like him. He's very influential. Say that you don't want to do something, and Diddy does want you to do it. It's really hard to not do that thing.
Is it the mind fucking or?
He's a bit like the mind fucking. Like, he's very influential. Like, say Diddy went, could you pick me up from the airport? I've got back from holiday, or I'm going away. Would you feed my fish? And really didn't want to feed his fish. Oh, how much fish food you put in? He'd still do it because you think, oh, don't upset him. He's an influential person.
I got it.
Well, see here, he said you don't want to upset him. Well, a lot of people said you didn't want to upset Diddy. We are going.
I got it.
So he's a good laugh. But if you imagine you get very friendly with him, he might ask you for loads of favours, and then you can't say no to him. That's my worry because I've become friends with him now. What
lousy favors? What are lousy favors, people? Yes, this is for adult audiences only. Must be 18 plus. Then you got the Butterfly Lounge. Welcome to Queen City, the Butterfly Lounge. Please subscribe, share, like, and thank you for your support.
What if he starts? Oh, picks up from the
So how was it working with Diddy?
airport? Feed the fish. Can I borrow your vacuum cleaner? It's going to be pressure.
It's gonna kind of become his bitch.
I don't want to be nobody's bitch. I've worked too hard in life. Not even Diddy's bitch.
Russell Brand is not gonna be Diddy's bitch.
Nobody's bitch.
But y'all can catch him and get him to the Greek June 4th.
June the 4th it comes out on.
The big screen.
Are you serious? Don't smile like that. Makes you look who just discovered his first boner.
I don't have one, so
This is your fucking moment. You only
Child, well, we don't want to get a copyright on that, honey. That man looks very uncomfortable. He looks very uncomfortable. It's like the way that Russell is looking in this photo is looking like, you know how you be like, come on, kids, we gonna take a picture. We gonna do this angle. Hold on, you was moving. Wait a minute. Get over here. Let's, it's like your kids, you trying to get them to do a family photo. Russell Brand looks very uncomfortable in this photo. Can we all agree? If he looks very uncomfortable in this photo, can we put a 5 in the chat? Can we put a 5 in the chat? He really just threw shade. Absolutely. And listen here, how many people have said that Diddy made them feel uncomfortable? Child. Hold on. Remy Ma spotted with her Papoose 2.0 after dropping his last name. Child, she got Child, I hope Remy Ma is not out there on that Ozempic. I really hope she's not out there on that Ozempic, child. She looking a little thin. Remy Ma looking a little thin. Is that... No, that ain't J-Lo. J-Lo and hiding, honey. J-Lo over there trying to get away, honey. Okay. Listen here. Okay, we got some 5s up in here. Okay, hold on. Let me zoom back up to this photo. Okay, so Russell was looking bad. He was looking like he didn't want to be up in there. Like, get me up out of here. Get my chilling out of here. Yes. Oh, yes. You said hips don't lie, honey. You better get into it, honey. Because he got his hips stuck out. Listen here. Yes. Get into it. You said sick too. He does look sick. And you know what? I'm not going to lie to y'all. Diddy look sick. Remember, he was all heavy at one point in Hello Hope's life, 2188. I believe Diddy is sick, allegedly. I do. But listen here. I heard he like those, F-offs. He's going to have plenty of those up in there. Plenty. Okay? Let's get up into more of this content. Yeah, but I hope she's not on that Ozempic. I hope she don't. Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban speaks on his support for Delonte West. I thought we had him turned around.
Several times you reached out and tried to help. How hard is it to see someone that played for you struggle with
brutal
mental health illness?
Brutal, right? Because I thought we had him turned around. We sent him down to Jason's place down in Florida, and it's like a farm, Jason Williams, and he's like, he's making progress, sending pictures. Dante's emailing me, and I'm like, oh yeah, we're getting this. Then Dante throws the shit over the fence, disappears. We bring him back again, making progress. This is it. Same shit.
Former NBA player Delonte West is reportedly released from jail after being arrested on multiple charges, child. Former NBA star Delonte West took an alarming mugshot after police recently arrested him. Well, honey, let's send some prayers up to this fine young man. It's given that he needs to go into rehab, child. Go get you some rehab, or
I always wanted to be
prayer, but I would say just stay away from TD Jakes. Honey, stay away from TD Jakes. Please stay away from TD Jakes, honey. Yes. Oh, yes. Listen here. TD Jakes was out there praying and, doing all that for Diddy, and honey, Diddy is now in a whole situation. Okay? Listen here, let's get up into this. Okay, we got Mary J. Blige on the thumbnail. We got T.I. and Tiny. They won $71 million. We've got Meek Mill. We've got, what's his name? Stevie J. We've got Quavo. And we've got Miss Thalia Graves with her attorney. But listen here, we have to get up into this at Queen City. Can we go there? Let's go there.
Upset with me that I do not go. Thank you, Sharon. I don't feel fabulous at all, girl. Tag, yeah, sure, tag. And I just don't feel good. The only reason why I'm doing the reading, I guess I will call this Wendy Williams Part 1, and I will come back and do part 2. Hi, Johnny Watson. Hi, Ricky. If I, well, I probably will, because I feel the spirit here now that is over the reading. If he wants me to finish it, which I kind of feel like he wants me to finish the reading. So I will be updating the reading. So I'll just call this Wendy Williams Part 1, because the spirit that came to me with this reading wants to be on the Facebook Live. Hi, beautiful cat. Hi, Sheila. Oh, thank you. I'm glad you missed me. Oh, girl. I'm sorry. My head is, I just feel so much congestion. It's cold in Atlanta. It's kind of humid here. We got the Super Bowl here, so a lot of people are here and excited about that. Let me tell you, this spirit fucked with me. He been in here fucking with me. It's a him. About Wendy Williams ass. About 2 weeks now. I let him in the house. He laughing. He's standing right here. I don't know what to call him. I'm going to tell you. I don't want to call him a demon. But I kind of wonder, is he a part of the demon family, but on a different dimension? Because he also reminds me of an extraterrestrial entity, very intelligent, very wise, has a very deep depth of science, astronomy, astrology, numerology, physics, anatomy and physiology of the human body, nature, earth science, and magic. Oh, okay. I don't know how many of them are in here right now, but I have a lot of company. Hi, Sharon Grant. I'm going to tell you how this happened, and I was very shocked about how this happened because, as you all know, when I do the celebrity readings, most of the time they are on a so-called dead person or a physically dead person, a person that their body has physically been killed, murdered in some way, and they feel that there was something done to them or something happened to them, and they want to find someone to speak to either reach another person or reach people they want to share the story. Okay, so I was surprised. He's very excited. Him and some other very powerful entities they're different sizes too. I don't know who all of them are yet. Some of them look like dwarfs. I don't see okay, the King Demon Baal just came in. How are you doing? Lucifer. Okay. They're present. And those are the ones that are surrounding this reading. Okay, this is how this shit started. Hey Gemini. Hi April. About 2 weeks ago, when I started seeing news about Wendy Williams not feeling well, stuttering on stage, stumbling during the show, I saw thank you, handsome Gemini. I'm working on it. I just wish I felt beautiful. Y'all, this spirit has kept me up all night long. It has woke me up every 2 to 3 hours. He said if I did not do the reading, then he was not going to let me sleep. And he's been doing this to me for about a little over a week now. But about 2 weeks ago when I seen her, I instantly closed this shit. Because whenever I seen her picture, he started coming through the picture. He said, I want to talk to you about when I said, no, you don't. And hurry up and close the shit. I didn't want to read the shit. I wasn't looking at nothing about her. I said, don't tell me nothing about when we've got. I don't want to do the reading. Everybody else talking about her. Everybody else dogging, everybody else talking about her husband, everybody else doing videos. I don't know why you trying to keep up shit with me when I'm just looking at the lady picture, listen to a video. I'm not listening to the video. I don't want to hear nothing. And then I see it again. I closed the shit. I didn't listen to nothing about her. Because I'm just getting over the Sam Cooke thing with my daddy. That wore me out. And I don't know if y'all know, they just released the news in February. They Netflix getting ready to do a series, some type of documentary on Sam Cooke's murder. And they believe it was a cover. Hey, Rudy. Hi, beautiful. Hi, Ashley. Okay. So I ignored his ass and told him, I don't want to hear nothing about Wendy. I'm trying to recover from the Sam, let me rest. I thought this shit was over. I'm washing dishes. While I'm washing dishes, I felt some shit watching me through the wall. Like outside in the parking lot. I looked through the wall, I could literally see him. The same one that he'll now about Wendy, he laughing. About Wendy Williams that I told when I looked at a video of her picture online, I said, leave me alone, I'm not getting in that shit. Hey, Tydri. So I looked through the wall, I could see him. He walked round the corner, down the hill, and stood outside and started fucking with me through the damn wall. Hey, Thomas. Hey, Candy. Mwah. Hey, my God, baby. I synced him through the wall, and so I'm literally washing dishes, and I feel him. Hey, Sheriff, look. He didn't come in the house. There's one thing I like about him. He rubbing me now. He glad. He wanted to be on the live when we talk about his ass. He stood out in the parking lot. And I looked at him. He didn't try to come in. He just stood right there. And he said, I want to talk to you about Wendy Williams. I said, no, you don't. Get out away from around here. See, I'm country. So instead of, thank you, Gemini, instead of saying, go away, get away from around here, it's now, get out away from around here with that shit. Hey, God, his mother reached, he wouldn't leave. He just said, He got real still. And I kept looking at him. Thank you, Daphne. I ain't never seen no shit like this before. Cause he had a big ass TV screen head. The head looked like a 1950s, around 50s or 60s TV screen ass head. It was square and wide like the old TV with the real thick, wide glass, kind of like the curved out glass on it. I said, what is this? It was a male. And it was standing there. Then it had a whole bunch of eyeballs all over the screen. All kind of big eyes on the front of the TV screen on the head. Then it had a human body, like a man body. Little bit, the body was like a long neck, some long arms, some long fingers, long legs, some two little ass legs with some two big ass socks that were like hanging down. And the ankle was little. With the sock caved down around the goddamn ankle and some too little, his feet was too little for the damn tennis shoe. Had some long ass tennis shoe with one of the shoes unlaced. And I said, the fuck? I said, your body, Wendy Williams' body looked it like that. When she was out there on that beach with that bikini like that with the long two little legs, with the big ass damn head and the big hair and the big titties, and then everything was long and it was the leg was too little. And I said, what the fuck is this? He wouldn't move. But we was talking through the wall. Like I'm in the house. He could hear me outside. He said, well, I'm going to stand out here in the parking lot. I'm not leaving because I told you that I want to come. I need to talk to you about Wendy. I said, but so your body is little at the bottom and big at the top, like her. He said, no, her body is like me. I said, you did this shit? He said, I'm on her. I possess her. And I said, oh, so she's not a tranny. She's not a transsexual. That's not a man. He said, no, I'm a man. And I possessed her. He said, that's my energy. He said, that's, you see, it started blinking her eye. Well, I like the whole front of his face had a whole bunch of eyes on it. And he was just, you know how she be talking about? Like, how you doing? She not. She got a real pussy and everything. I ain't seen it, but I'm willing to vouch for it. She is not a transsexual. He told me that she is a genetic female. But she's gotta see. He is gay. He built up like she built up. But he got them eyes on him. Cause he make you, oh, I felt this. Cause he make you put your eyes on her. On that screen. That's a screen mirror. The TV screen is a black screen mirror. He said, I did a spell. She took an oath. I'm possessed. Her body. I've taken over her body with a very flamboyant, gay, male spirit. That, how you doing? And when she do her eyes, that thing was doing his eyes just like her goddamn ass. I'm looking through the wall. We talking through the wall. And I said, no, but you can't come in here. I don't want to hear no more. And I said, how the fuck did you walk your ass all the way down to Atlanta? How you get my goddamn ass? Like, how you get down here? Yes, now you see why it look creepy, because it's not her. And the way she do, like her whole mannerism. Oh, how you do that? He do that. He said, no, she don't do that. That's me. I made her famous. I make all the eyes fixate. He started doing that. It was a whole bunch of eyes doing this. I said, I don't want to hear no goddamn more. Because usually people come when their bodies are dead. She's in hers. He said, yeah. But the same way that I make you focus on her and put eyes on her globally, where you admire and you are mesmerized and fascinated, now I will, how do you say the man, I make her explode. Those same eyes will watch her implode from the inside out, because she have a sickness on her that have something to do with me. And the debt she, I don't want to hear no more. Go tell somebody else. You keeping up shit and I'm tired. And I told him to go. He stands there like this. I want to tell you. I said, no, you don't. He kept standing in the parking lot. He stood there all night. But it wasn't in my parking space. He came over to the left. 3 spaces. Every night, his ass move over another damn space. He inched a little bit closer. Whole hand cold. I'm going from hot to cold. This whole part just cold. He right here. Lucifer right there. I didn't say nothing because I keep every night. I said, why don't you stop it? Just go. Go tell somebody else. He said, I want to talk to you. I got to tell you. Then the next night he keep moving. Then he moved to the 3rd space. We dealing with them 3s, which is also a Lucifer number. He gets stand in my parking space and look all the way up the sidewalk. I seen him doing it. No, they don't hurt me, Sanchez. But take this one here. They will do stuff like what he been doing, fuck with me, and then I go to sleep and push me away. He did it to me all night because he had gave me a deadline to do the reading, and I've been doing other people's readings. trying to get them done, private readings. And he's like, I don't care about all that. I want you to tell them about me. And I want you to tell them what I say about Wendy, about me. I said I was going to do it. No. You keep wasting time. So he fucks with me. I'm so damn tired. I barely ate something today. And he said, you better have this out. I was supposed to have it out a few days ago. A week done passed. Whole body getting cold on the right side. He said, you better, and I didn't do it last night because I was talking on the phone. He said, get off the phone. Because they ain't telling you nothing that can help you. What I can tell you, and I want you to do this. If you don't do it tonight, you better do it by Monday midnight, or me and you're going to have a problem. I said, okay. And then he woke me up all morning. He woke me up like every hour, 2 hours last night. I'm trying to sleep. If you don't do what I say, then you ain't going to sleep either, because I want them to know. I said, okay. So he eased us up about a week or so ago, step by step, like he's skipping on the damn sidewalk. And I feel him easing up. And I'm still saying, go tell somebody else, because I didn't try to banish him, because he kind of had a sweetness about him. He's not violent. He's like a gay male that's, how can I say, he's very positive, he's very intelligent, very excited, but he like attention. He felt like he haven't gotten attention. And I still didn't know who he was. He came with that same square ass TV head with them eyes, a whole bunch of eyes blinking on him. He gets to the door. I'm telling you the message. He gets to the door and he stands on the porch. And I'm just like, wow, so you're just not going to leave. Every day I come down and I see that he's closer and closer to coming in the house. So I don't say anything. I said, all right. So he peeps his head. He's just taking little bitty pieces at a time. He puts his head up on the screen door. And he literally leans his head to the door. And I see his head slide through the door. He's literally walking through the door, but he doesn't put his whole body through the door. And then he comes back out. And I come down, I see him, and I act like I don't see him. And I said, okay, he's just inching his way into the house. He jumps over the screen door and the big door, and he's standing in the foyer. I said, you know what? Come on in. Come on in, because you just keep inching up and you want to talk to me. So I'm just going, and you're not violent. Hey, Gloria, so I'm just fine. He comes into the kitchen thank you, Alvin, where I first pick him up. He has some people with him. And I turned and looked. I said, okay, well, here he go with that TV head and all them eyeballs. So I gotta act like this is normal to me. I don't want to be disrespectful. I ain't never seen no shit like this in my life. Come in here like this with these damn eyeballs. No, I'm not talking about a dog. No, it's not a human. It's a male. It's a gay male entity, a very powerful entity. It's also a demon with a whole bunch of eyeballs. And his head, he was showing, which I know is symbolic. His head was a big TV screen. It looked like the old-fashioned glass TV screens, a real thick 1950s style, 60s style television. And then when he gets down here and I'm looking at him, he starts doing designs with the eyeballs on the TV screen, like his face was just like a TV screen. So as I stopped what I was doing. I look at him and he has a group with him. The glass, yeah, he's here with me because I'm feeling totally chilly. Really sounds like a Hebrew death. And oh my God, Elvin, I believe you. Because it's tied to the 6th and 7th books of Moses. And I'm going to tell you in a minute how. Watch this. He's standing there, and then the front of his face that looks just like the glass on a TV screen, because he said he put Wendy on the TV. He made everybody fixate on her and took her to the higher level worldwide. The glass then started to separate in these square grids. It looks like a whole bunch of boxes appeared on the front of the TV screen face. So as I'm looking at him separate the grid, he made a grid on the front of the TV screen face. In each little square box, all these different color eyeballs appeared. Blue eyes, dark brown, hazel eyes, green eyes, gray eyes appear all over the square grids and on the TV screen. And yeah, it is a portal. And I said, what does that mean? He said, because I make all of the eyes watch Wendy. He said, all of the eyes from all around the world of all colors are mesmerized, and they can't help it, and they're pulled in to the TV screen. I control the TV screen. I do the magic. She did a ritual, and I possess her, and I have all of the eyes. And I said, wow, I think you remind me of this tool. It's a tool. It kind of reminds me like it's a round metal piece, and it has like these wire grids in the middle, like little squares. And if you take a potato and you put it on top of a potato and you push it down, it makes like French fries. And I said, hold on, let me see if I can find it. And he said, okay. And I opened the drawer. I couldn't find it. But what fell out that I forgot that I've had there for years was the 6th and 7th seals from the 6th and 7th books of Moses. And then I looked at him. I said, is that what you wanted me to see? He said, yes. I said, so you would also be dealing with Hebrew and the Kabbalah? He said, yes. And I forgot that I had the seals. And so I started looking at the seals, and some of them were seals of love and great generations. And I said, well, I'm going to put them here. He said, I will show you what they mean and how I use them. And then I looked back at him again. And when I looked at him, he started doing hydraulic tricks with the eyelashes on all of the eyes. And he was batting his eyes like she does. Like sometimes her eyes look big and round, and she looks around and she bats. He started doing the same shit. It looked just like her eyes. And then he looked at me, and the eyelashes looked black and long. And then they started going real long like that, pointing towards me. And then they switched to the side, and he started fluttering them like that. And then he would turn them around and flutter them like that. And I said, wow, you do tricks with your eyebrows, but eyelashes. I said, but they look like long peacock feathers. And I'm like, okay, you're giving me a clue. Why are you making your eyelashes look like long, wispy, fluffy peacock tail feathers? Then I told my friend Ricky, I said, Ricky, you're not going to believe this. This being with this TV head and this little bit of body built up like Wendy said. He had to tell me something, and then his eyebrow, he started doing a trick with the eyes that he came in my house, and he stretched them out real long and flipped them to the side and make them go up and down like hydraulics on a car, and they started looking like some peacock tail fella. He started laughing. I was like, you know what? This is not fucking funny. I told my friend Sharon, her ass started giggling. She told me I'm not meaning to laugh. The shit ain't funny, but the shit funny. So how the fuck you still have to go through over here? How the fuck you think I feel? So Ricky started Googling eyeball demon, or demon with a whole bunch of eyes. We found some. I think Ricky found one in some Asian cartoon, Yu-Gi-Oh! Or something. It's these, y'all don't believe me? Google it. It's these demons that been in the cartoon for years with a whole bunch of goddamn eyeballs on them. Then I said, you got to show me who you are, because I know I'm not fucking crazy. I know, I believe you. I know I ain't on that shit. I know I see this shit. I just can't tell nobody because I don't know nobody to understand. Guess what? I found his ass. His name is Argus Panoptis. He is from Greek mythology, and he's associated with the goddess Hera, I think, and Zeus. Argus had eyes all over. Y'all can Google this. You think I'm lying. This is a part of Greek mythology. Argus Panoptis. He's the one that wants you to know him. He's been hanging out talking to me. He has the eyes all over his head. Argus. And when I looked, because Hera was having problems with her husband, this is around marriage and children and family. Hera was having problems with her husband. I think was it Zeus cheating. And he was coming to Earth, dealing with women here, and Zeus tried to hide it and turned her into, I think, a cow. So Hera sent Argus to watch the cow, waiting for it to transform back into a female because she knew he was cheating. Guess what? Arga, her favorite bird is the peacock. Because when the peacock opens its tail, it looks like a whole bunch of eyes are on the peacock's tail, just like on Argus's face. And
rumors and there has been speculation that maybe she died because of this book. And the reason why we say that is the main character in this book is said to be Lamont, and Lamont is Diddy. So of course this is all alleged. We have no proof, but as we do right here on Mama's Cocktail Hour, we are going to dive into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it today. We're going to be doing chapter 1 through 5. I'm going to try my best to get through 5. So let's get started. Again, thank you for everybody who has suggested that I do these book reads. My last book read did really well. I did the Kim Porter book. If you guys are looking for that type of content, you could go back on my page, and I did the entire Kim Porter book in a matter of 2 hours. Someone said that there was some problems with the connection, but I don't think so. I mean, there were some words that came in and out, I think, exception, but overall, it's a great book read. It's really quick, and everyone seemed to like it. So go check that out on my page. And without further ado, we are going to get into the book Bling. Okay, so here's the book, highly anticipated. I've been looking for this book for months. I find my hands on it, and I want to share it with you guys. So let's jump into it. Bling. Lamont sauntered into the room like he owned the place. Mr. Jackson greeted him warmly. Mr. Green is waiting at your table, as usual. Lamont gifted him a courteous half smile. Their usual table was the Midtown Manhattan restaurant where the power players converged. A dark-skinned man with an imposing build and a cocksure swagger, Lamont Jackson was not conventionally handsome. Rather, he had well-groomed sheen particular to rich image-conscious men. He cut a full swath, and he strode through the room in his favorite Brioni suit, chin up, acknowledging fellow members of the media elite with friendly nods. The masculine scent of his Bulgari cologne lingering in the wake. He derived a soul-deep satisfaction being watched, being known. He felt their eyes upon his approach. Irv Green, the 66-year-old chairman of A Music, who had been ranked number 10 on last year's Entertainment Weekly Power 100, after his own record label had achieved its year-to-date. Lamont had landed in the magazine's annual honorable mention spot at 100.5, an insult. He would have preferred not to be mentioned at all. Lamont consulted his Petit Philippe as he slid into the booth. Am I late? Irv Green was a stickler for punctuality. It was something that Lamont had in common. No, Irv said cordially, not bothering to get up. Right on time. They enjoyed a warm professional relationship. There was no need for formality. Though if Lamont had arrived first, he would have instinctively stood to greet the music industry legend. Ordered lunch and made small talk until Irv finally addressed the unspoken topic hanging in the air. So it's true, he announced between moments. Really? Lamont attempted to sound surprised, even though rumors had been swirling for months. They want you out. Yeah, Irv said. The fuckers. He leaned over a confidential whisper and said, so everybody knows already, huh? Well, not everyone. What are people saying? Listen, Lamont said. HMG can't ask you to step down. They have no cause. None, Irv agreed immediately. It's a forced retirement. He was reconciled to the fact that he was being pushed out as the head of Augusta, where he had been cranking out hits for more than 30 years. What bull, Lamont spat, truly outraged. Even at 38 years old, as the CEO of Triple Large Entertainment, the hip-hop label he founded in a joint venture with Augusta, Lamont was feeling the heat from younger moguls in training. Bullshit it is, Irv signed, but we operate in a world that worships the young and exiles the old. He shrugged. He was with the dilemma for a month and had to let go of the anger. Technically, Lamont had to report to Irv, but mostly he was the master of his own ship. Irv was going to Lamont, an African American who had the pulse of urban culture, how to run hip-hop. Irv had been one of Lamont's most vocal supporters to the higher-ups at HMG, the German conglomerate that owns the same fuckers who were trying to push Irv out of his job. You remember the first time we had lunch here, Lamont reflected? 9 years ago, we were working out the joint venture. I remember it like it was yesterday, Irv said. You had on jeans that were too baggy, Air Jordans, a yellow hood, Morehouse sweatshirt, and you kept taking phone calls on that cell phone that was the size of a brick. I was embarrassed to be seen with you. Lamont didn't want to be reminded of that, but remembered what you said that day. People were just starting to realize that hip-hop was a passing fad. I said the Germans at HMG were racist, and the only reason they wanted to get in bed with me was because green was the only color that could bind them in my own way. Irv nodded, and I said, I want to just be careful of saying this. I'm AJEW from Canarsie. You think they like me better? To them, we're both ninjas. Accept it and move on. They both chuckled at election. It was the best advice I've ever gotten, Lamont said. Still, he learned so much from Irv. How to handle corporate politics, how to groom and protect an artist, and even how to dress. Lamont looked at Irv, now casually in a white shirt, no tie, that was left on his dark brown hair, elegantly slicked back. The shirt was so crisp, so blindingly white, it almost made a celestial glow. Where did you even buy a shirt like that? And how much did it cost? You also said Lamont continued the trip down memory lane to massage Irv's ego. You make hit records and we all make money and everybody's happy. A thoughtful pause. You've been producing hits for 35 years, Irv. Made them a lot of money. You're still at the top of your game. It's not right what they're trying to do. That's what everybody's saying. Irv smiled and raised his glass in appreciation. So what's next? Lamont asked casually. Self-owned. He was more curious about what this shakeup meant for him than his mentor. Golf's not my thing, Irv said. Might start my own. I can write my own ticket. Of course. And they'll start deciding on my replacement. The pause was so pregnant, it was expectance. Say it, Lamont silently urged. Say it. Irv looked across the table and smiled. If it were up to me, the job would be yours today. But I do not know you're at the top of their list. Lamont in, girth back on the leather banquet and pushed his plate of risotto away, taking a moment to compose himself so his deep baritone would not sound too eager in reply. He felt like jumping up in the packed dining room and shouting, I'm ready. He only shifted slightly when he spoke. He sounded cool and calm. Oh, I've been thinking of branching out, he said. Doing some R&B shit. I have some things in the works right now. Wonderful, Irv said. That's what you need to do. Show those, I'm not going to say that word. You're not one tricky pony. Irv wiped his mouth with the cloth napkin. There's still a lot to be worked out before I leave. Everybody's going to be watching you. Monty, show him what you could do. As soon as Lamont hopped in the back of his Mercedes Maybach, he called Darryl, his all-purpose whipping boy. They already spoken about the brilliant idea that had come to Lamont last night. Darryl was just waiting on the word. Lamont had called the girl. Okay, so I believe that was like, I'm sorry, I thought that was like chapter 1, but that's like the prefix, and that's the intro, and we're gonna get into it. If you guys are coming in, we are reading Bling, and that was the prefix. We are going to chapter 1, and it's called Excuse Me, Miss. Please hit the like. I love y'all. Bear with me because these words is worded, okay? Because we ain't nobody, Latoya said. Lakeisha, turning from peering out the window of the Chesterfield Hotel, annoyed because of her question. Staying in this bum-ass hotel had been a rhetorical one. There was no view, just another hotel across 37th Street, and from what little she could see, the rooms were over there were nicer. I know, Keisha, but still, we didn't even get a limo from the airport. We did a limo, Mimi said, straightening up. They sent us a car and that was fine. Why are you cleaning up Kenny's room? Keisha said, stretching out in the perfectly made bed. Because I already finished with ours, Mimi said. I can't just sit around and do anything for the phone to ring. It's driving me crazy. They were sharing the adjoining room, but they were camped out there because their manager, Kenny Hill, with the call at the hotel since his cell phone service had been interrupted for non-payment. And they wanted to be there when let's eat, Keisha said. They'll give us something to do. She picked up service menu. We can order food, right? She frowned at Toya. They'll pay for that? Last night, after their audition at the Triple Large offices, they had Planet Hollywood for dinner, hoping to spot some celebrities, unaware it was a tourist trap populated by autograph seekers like themselves, where no celebrities would ever be caught dead. I don't know, Toya said wearily. Keisha was always looking for a free meal, literally and figuratively, and it got under Toya's skin that she was so simple-minded. You need to ask Kenny. Where's he at anyways? Keisha said, twirled one of her microblades. It don't take that long to buy a pack of Newports. Mimi didn't care about the low-budget accommodations or that there had been no limo yesterday. Keisha thought the whole trip to be like an episode of Making the Band. She was obsessed with that show. Ken did nothing to dissuade her from thinking it was going to be limos, parties, crystals, popping bottles, but Why on earth would anyone do that for them? But they had come here to change that. They'd all met at the Performing School of Arts in Toledo. They joked like they were TLC, whose Crazy Sexy Cool album was one of their all-time favorites. Keisha, big boned and equipped with a sharp tongue, was the crazy component. Toya, a round-faced girl with a heartwarming smile and a degree of self-assurance that bled her years, was the cool. And Mimi was, well, she wasn't wild like Keisha, and she didn't possess Toya's innate confidence, so sometimes she felt like she got the sexy slot by default. No doubt Mimi was pretty. Since she was a baby, everyone had remarked on it. But in her usual baggy gear, sexy she was not. Tight jeans and midriff tops invited attention, and as a biracial girl in a predominantly black school, she already stood out enough. All she ever wanted was to blend in. Her mother, Angela, was Italian, and Mimi couldn't remember her Haitian father. Jaquez Barant hadn't run out on Angela a year after the child was born, and the annual birthday cards had arrived late with no return address, stopping altogether after Mimi's 8th birthday self, as she did most things, managing to pull straight as while dodging the taunts of white girl and high yellow, as if she thought she was better girls. Just like many of them, she was raised by an overworked single mother. She rode the bus to school from the bad side of town, and the clothes over which they ran a disapproving, "You think you're cute." Eyes were paid for the after-school jobs. She's been juggling since she was 14. Never made her looks an issue. They did. Toya, however, was different. She made it clear that only 2 months into freshman year, when Nicole warmed over to Mimi in the cafeteria and began to lay into her forecoming on her boyfriend, even though it had been Nichelle's wannabe Lothario who had been coming on to a completely uninterested Mimi. Toya, who Mimi knew only casually, had calmly looked her shoulder from the next table. "You just mad because you wish you had that long hair. Go get yourself a weave and shut the hell up, Keisha." Always spoiling for a fight of any kind, and jumped up to enter the fray, but Nicole had slunk away before she could. Toya, Keisha, and Mimi had been friends ever since. Later that year, the group was formed. They named it Heart. They debated endlessly about the kinds of songs they should sing, what kind of group they wanted to be. Keisha and Toya were into hip-hop. Mimi's taste felt more onto the soul side. She idolized the male artists whose songs stirred something inside of her more than an urge to dance. Her mother had harbored dreams of being a singer way back when, and music was the only constant in their unstable life. From Aretha to Alanis Morissette, Sarah Vaughan, and Sarah McLachlan, Mimi would close and try to mimic their every inflection, pretending she was them, not a girl from Toledo who wouldn't recognize her own father if she passed him on the street. That was how she got through performing on stage. She became someone else. Whoever song she was belting out, she was pretending to be Beyonce. The night they met Kenny at their local talent show, Heart Song was just won the top prize and $300 for their rousing rendition of Bills, 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 the Destiny Child hit. A lanky, dark-skinned man, 34, with droopy eyes and a seemingly permanent deposit of white in the corner of his mouth. Kenny Hill's name was the one recognized on the flyers posted all over town. A part-time club promoter, he told them he knew every musician, nightclub owner, and DJ in Toledo. In retrospect, they realized wasn't saying all that much. He proffered a business card that read simply, "Talent Manager," and they didn't know how to ask him credentials beyond the promises he made. He talked about getting them a record deal, and he didn't ask them for money, and so it was that Kenny Hill became their manager. He had arranged for them to sing backup on demos at Wild South Outside Studios in exchange for free studio time to record their own music. He kept telling them that he was setting up auditions with labels, but it panned out. And they graduated high school 2 years ago. The days after they tossed their caps, Mimi's part-time job at the discount Emporium became full-time. Toya was doing hair at Black Roots without a license, and Keisha wasn't doing much of anything except hanging out with her crazy-ass drug dealer boyfriend. They'd finished their demo using tracks. Kenny brought them a local producer and singing generic R&B lyrics that Kenny had written himself. Kenny Hill, club promoter, talent manager, songwriter, jack of all, is the master of none. When he finally got a call back from Triple Large Entertainment a week ago, he didn't tell the girls right away, and they had a chance at that they had a chance at a recording contract. Instead, he got everything in order, wrangling 4 coach plane tickets to New York, $2.99 per night rooms at the Chesterfield, before rolled into Wildside Studios and crowded triumphantly. Pack your bag, girls. We're going to New York. Call the girl. Why did Lamont always have to be so dramatic? Daryl wanted to call the girl, but he couldn't remember the bitch's name. Latoya. Or maybe that's the one. He already asked Lamont's assistant and the receptionist if they remember the name of the pretty one, because he couldn't find the group's bio and attached photo. With all the groups that had come through the office in the last few weeks, no one could remember a damn thing about them. Now Daryl rummaged through all the useful office memos on his desk in search of the package the manager had left with him the other day. That office was tiny, so was he. But what he lacked in size, he more than made up in self-aggrandizement. I'm sorry, guys. That word is just weird. He was 5'5" 3/4 inches, but whenever anyone dared height, he'd pull out his driver's license. Bam! 5'7". People always took that as gospel, as if the DMV actually measured folks. His office would have felt larger if he cleared out half a dozen of boxes he was supposed to listen to as the A&R rep of Triple Large Entertainment. When he first got the gig, he didn't even know what A&R stood for. Artists and repertoire, he was told. He still didn't entirely, but he figured out he was expected to discover new artists and work on their development once they were signed. That he could do, although he really wanted to be a producer solely and forgot the office bullshit. He really got assessing the volumes of material that found their way into the Midtown office. Most who got signed and had already made names for themselves on the street or were affiliated with an established hip-hop clique. The next big thing rarely arrived unannounced via the United States Postal Service. Nevertheless, Paul Mankiewicz, the label's VP of A&R, stayed on Daryl's ass about listening to every single submission. A strapping, floppy-haired white guy in his 30s, Paul Mankiewicz made 6 figures and his own hours. He was nicknamed Witchy because he had successfully cultivated so many R&B and hip acts at various record companies that people said he would work black magic. 23-year-old Daryl didn't have an official title, usually called the A&R guy, which he preferred to be called Witch Assistant, though a fable to most. Witchy crapped the whip on his departmental subordinate mostly. Daryl believed as a form of insurance. If Witchy failed to meet his monthly beat-up on Daryl quota, Witchy was guaranteed to receive a few lashes from the HIC himself, Lamont Fat Man Johnson. Daryl idolized and despised Fat Man with fever. Some days he wished he were standing tall in Lamont's $400 shoes, making big moves and bigger bank. Other days he hoped Lamont Jackson would kneel over and die from a massive coronary and spent all its thing in hell. A few months ago, Fat Man, aka Lamont guy, put out a call that he had been branching into R&B. They were hoping to find the next Destiny's Child. In the past 2 months, they've seen 27. None of them got past their first song. After an audition 2 days of 3 white girls with varying degrees of pink hair who called themselves Shades, it was obvious Witchy was digging at the bottom of the barrel. Lamont had turned to Witchy and said, "Mr. Mankiewicz, why do I feel like I'm being judged like I'm a judge on American Idol?" Daryl had fallen back on Lamont's sofa and laughed. It was a joy to see Witchy catching some flack, but the most hysterical part was that Lamont was beginning to resemble the fat guy on the show. And then this group, Heartstrong, the worst fucking name, had come in yesterday. Daryl had only listened as a favor to Megan, Triple R's certified hottie receptionist. She urged to listen to it, saying the manager was a friend of her cousin's friend. Oh well, I'll give them the VI treatment right now. Daryl had clowned like he cared. It was certain to be garbage, but brought him one step toward getting some PUSSY from Megan. It was worth a listen. And what did you know? It wasn't bad at all. Witchy was heated when he found out that Daryl had flown them in without consulting him. One of the girls, the girl with the long braids, had to be 20 pounds heavier than she'd been when the bio picture was taken. And the manager was annoying as hell. Daryl had to shove him out of Lamont's office as he tried to sell him on 2 other hip-hop acts he managed. The group's audition didn't seem to ignite much enthusiasm in Lamont, although he didn't say that he straight up hated them, which was his response to most of the 27 other who had come before. This morning, Lamont had called Daryl at the crack of dawn to say maybe they're a group after all. Actually, his words were, "Where the hell is Whitney?" Daryl rolled over, looked at the ungodly hour and yawned. At home? Sleeping? Maybe? Lamont grunted his disapproval and told Daryl he had a moment of revelation. He decided that they needed just one girl, a solo artist. He wanted to meet with the lead singer of Heartstrong, the pretty one, he said. Daryl finally found the bio picture sticking out of the stack of the magazines on the floor. Mimi, that was him. He looked at his fake Rolex. Damn, it was already 4:15 and Lamont wanted her down there by 5. He picked up the phone and dialed the hotel. This chick could be his first discovery. And if a signing came out of this, wouldn't let Witchy or Fat Man forget it. Okay, guys. We are on chapter 2. Okay, so we are going to... These chapters we are going to read chapter 2. And then I am going to come back later on to finish the rest. So let's get into it. I apologize. I thought I would be reading a little faster, but I want y'all to understand like what I'm saying, who the characters are, and following it. So I want to read it slowly. So I'm going to read one more chapter. And then I will come back on today and you guys can follow up on it. Okay. Please hit the like button. Thank you guys. We are reading the book Bling by Erica Kennedy, and we are on 2. Chapter 2 is called If I Ruled the World. The like. Thank you. This is going to be the last chapter we read before we take a break. Lamont climbed the window staircase to his thinking. Lamont Jackson, chairman of Augusta Music, had a nice ring to it. He'd be able to sell Triple Large to Augusta, but he'd still retain control of the label he founded, as well as run several others. How much would the deal reap? 60 million. No, Triple Large was worth 75 at least. He stepped onto the treadmill, a few buttons. He usually worked out in the evening after coming home from the office, before going out for dinner and whatever else the night offered. But today he come home right after his lunch meeting with Irv. One of the perks of being a top dog, you didn't have to account for where your whereabouts were. These workouts were often the only time he spent alone in an entire day. At the office, he had his minions swarming around him and his faithful assistant, Iman. However, nearby, at night, out at the most expensive clubs, his entourage was always surrounding him. When traveling in his Maybach or Suburban, his driver Carlos was at the wheel. And when he fell asleep in his Tribeca triplex, there was always almost a gorgeous babe in bed beside him. He had tried working out with a highly recommendable personnel trainer, but the guy had annoyed him and was fired after 2 sessions. Anyway, he had gotten the information he needed and continued the exercise regimen without some FAGGOT, I'm not going to say it, Richard Simmons wannabe cutting off repetitions and applauding him like he just run the New York City Marathon. He had nothing against little ass kissing as long as his ass was the one on the receiving end. It was actually one of his favorite things, but he got more than his fair share of that day. And he had gotten an uncomfortable feeling that the guy had wanted to kiss his ass for real. Besides working out alone, it gave him a chance to decompress and think. The thought that was going through his mind right now was, I need a hit. A blinding success story that would prove to Irv Green, to the heads of HMG, to the world, that he deserved the top job at Augusta. 9 years ago, he had been one of the hip-hop's corporate trailblazers, founding Triple Large Entertainment long before rappers were starring in movies, shilling for Sprite, and mingling with high society. His early track record as a label head had been unimpressive. The first few artists he released had come and gone without much fanfare and been summarily dropped from the label. Then 3 of his acts achieved gold record status and selling 500,000 albums, and still had big success then. How far the bar has risen right only a few years. Now, a record that was merely gold certified meant one with lackluster sales. Lamont didn't allow the word fail to be uttered by anyone in his ranks. In a slumping industry where music download became an escalating problem and major labels were regularly laying off hundreds of employees, posting profits were more difficult and more important than ever. Lamont's first big success was Floss, a raspy voiced West Coast rapper who wove biblical sayings into his rhymes about his ghetto fabulous lifestyle. He became the label's resident sex symbol, despite the fact that he had a prosthetic leg. He lost his leg below the shin after a car accident when he was 16, and he claimed to have had a near-death experience and found God. Floss gave a whole new meaning to the term hip-hop. His debut, Prophet and Floss, came close to selling 500,000 copies, although his bio said it was certified gold anyway. Triple Large hip-hop comedian rapped about girls, parties, and mostly himself. Lamont had come up with the name following the phonetic spellings are cooler. Mission that the younger rappers seem to favor. He thought Ridiculize, and that's the name, guys, it's terrible. Ridiculize was an improvement over the rapper's original moniker, Big D-I-C-K. He could just imagine MTV having a heart attack over that. Dickie's first album, Haha, made some noise with 2 hit singles, but Lamont was disappointed with the performance. 2 million copies sold of the rapper's second effort, No Foolin', more than made up for any of the bad feelings. But it was a plasma upset rapper named Mick Grimy who had taken Lamont and TLE the next level. Grimy's first album, Bloodhound, went gold. His second, Hematoma, went platinum, selling millions of copies. His third, Code Red, sold 2 million in the first 2 months, and his next, Crimin's Tide, was the TLT all-time bestseller, 4 million copies to date. When Lamont learned that Grimy had taken an IQ test as a child and scored high, Lamont started calling me his thug genius. He was pleased when the nick got picked up in the press. It appeared in large type next to Grimy's head when the Tone rapper was featured shirtless and splattered with blood on a controversial Rolling Stone cover. Thereafter, Lamont's publicist let it be known that Lamont himself had coined the term. Grimy's success had really put the company on the map. The triple large artist meant something now. When a new album was released, Triple Large stable hip-hop consumers, 80% of whom were suburban white kids, took notice. Floss' second album, Gimme the Loot, had double platinum. O Negative, Grimy's last LP, had just reached 3 million. And from the looks of the first week sale numbers, I hate the name, Radicules, we're just going to call him Rad, was on track to do even better. The R&B and hip-hop infused movie soundtracks TLE produced have become a business unto themselves, and Lamont have formed a separate division amongst them. Triple Large Tracks. 10 soundtracks released in the 5 years, and they've all gone platinum. With dominating the industry, Lamont was firmly lodged in the top tier of the crop of new black moguls, but he didn't want to be one of them. He wanted to be the king, the one and only, and a new chairman of Augusta Music. that's who he would be. By the time the girls' late afternoon snack arrived, Keisha's nerves had gotten the best of her and she was in the bathroom vomiting lunch. It was then that the phone finally rang, but it was the phone in their room, not in Kenny's, as they expected. While Toya attended to Keisha, Mimi walked the adjoining door to answer it. It was probably her worrisome mother. She already phoned twice today. "Can I talk to Mimi?" the caller said. "This is." He said, "Hey, it's Daryl from Triple Large. Is Kenny there?" "No," she said, excited to hear from him. "He went out." "Good. Look, meet me downstairs at 5 o'clock. 86 Walker Street. Don't say shit to Kenny, not a word. I don't know if we can get there by 5. Keisha is kind of sick right now." "No, just don't say anything to them either. Tell them you have to meet a friend or something. I'll explain later when you get here. 86 Walker. I'll meet you downstairs. Take a cab for it." "But what?" Mimi began. "Don't stress me," Daryl cut her off. "Just get there by 5. You already running damn late." Mimi hung up the phone and stared at what was going on. If she were to tell the God-honest truth that she hadn't expected the call, at least not to say they wanted them, the audition hadn't gone very well. They've been nervous. Keisha's voice cracking was the low point, but she was trying to remain optimistic for herself as much as for the other girls. Yesterday, Lamont Jackson of the label hadn't said goodbye or thanks for coming or nice job, nothing. He picked telephone before they were out the door and started dialing as if their appointments had been unwanted, interrupted in his daily business routine. The last to file out. She looked back at him, the phone to his ear. He caught her and finally cracked a smile. Of encouragement or pity, she wasn't sure. Lamont had seemed to be channeling his inner thoughts to Daryl, who had done all of the talking. Daryl had said that they had an answer today. Yes or no, he told Kenny. What does this mean? She wondered, yay or nay. And what was all of the business of coming alone? When she walked back into Kenny's room, Keisha was lying on the bed, a wet rag on her face, moaning like she had just given birth. "Are you okay?" Mimi said, kneeling beside her. "No," Keisha moaned. "What was that your mother again?" Toya asked. No," Mimi said hesitantly. "It was some guy, the son of my mom's friend. He wants me to come meet him right now at his place just around the corner." Too much detail. She was lying poorly, and for what? The address Daryl had given wasn't the address of the office. Despite Daryl's fierce warning, she wished she could talk to Kenny first before she did anything. Where the hell was he? He left almost 2 hours ago, and why couldn't he pay his cell phone bill? "What place?" Toya questioned. Mimi said, trying to cover up with a name, but she didn't know New York, so she just turned and walked back into her room, hoping Toya wouldn't ask again. "Mimi, what if they call?" Keisha whined. "Not if," Toya corrected. "They say they called today." "Well, they might say they want us, or they might say they don't." Keisha continued, getting her energy. "I'll call you guys in an hour," Mimi said, changing out of her sweats, and Toya watched from the doorway. Mimi went to the closet and considered her clothing options. She couldn't wear the tight stretch jeans and cropped peasant top that she wore yesterday for him. Toya and Keisha had wore the same exact outfit, so Daryl would surely remember. Besides, that was a tad hoochie for her personal taste. During their search for the perfect audition attire, Keisha and Toya had nixed more of their conservative options. You don't even know this guy," Toya complained. "Forget him." Mimi, I can't." Mimi held up the back turtleneck with the bell sleeves that she had worn on the plane. "I already told him I would come," so she shrugged. Yes, it would be the turtleneck with the army green cargo pants, leather boots with the platform heels instead of the slutty heels Kenny had insisted they wear yesterday. "Is he cute?" Toya said. "Who?" The guy you're meeting." "I don't know. I never met him." She was lying, so best she leave it at that. Mimi went into the bathroom and momentarily thought about telling Keisha and Toya the truth as she pulled back her wild mass of chestnut brown curls into a neat ponytail. She put on her favorite dangling silver and turquoise earrings, even though she stretched her lobes because she loved how they chimed with every step she took. She time for all the makeup. Kenny had ordered them to pile on yesterday, just a little concerned to cover the rash of pimples that seemed to be multiplying on her forehead. No, she decided as she applied some cherry flavored lip gloss, she wouldn't tell them. She'd do this alone, as Daryl had said, find out what's up and then back. Kenny has to be the problem. Seeing him in that plush New York office, spotting his best nylon tracksuit had made it glaringly obvious how time he was. When he tried to give Lamont a demo of a male hip-hop group he was representing, it was obvious that Lamont was not interested the least bit. Kenny kept saying, just listen to the first track, it's fire. Daryl had been to shove him out of Lamont's office. I'm the lead singer, Mimi said to herself, and handle this. Imagine if she could come back and tell them she had a deal. Okay, Toya finally relented, a little late as Mimi was ready, grabbing her knitted poncho and suede hobo bag and heading for the door. Maybe he's cute, and maybe we're gonna get signed, and maybe we're gonna move here, and maybe we'll be famous, and maybe he'll be a man. Let's not get ahead of yourselves, Mimi, shooting Toya as she smiled as she walked out the door.
Dollar going in, what? Sorry, she slipped it through the door.
Yo, I think that looks like Puff Daddy. I want to see Puff Daddy. Where Puff Daddy at? In my nigga shop. In Mary J.
Word up, where Mary J at?
Word up, what's
You should have told what, man? Red and Rock! Who's Reverend Rock? Oh, we're going to do that. Hey, Lobo! Hey, Lobo! What's great? Eddie Mac! Yo, Eddie Eddie Mac! Eddie Mac! See the whole mob about to come down here? It's always gonna be somebody in my mind. Right now, what's going through my mind? They messed with the wrong man. That's right. They took the wrong man out. You know what I'm saying? The good man, that's Frank White, King of New York.
He was part of the community.
All right? He gave us love. He gave us love. His music just went through our body.
Music was the best.
Gave us chills. Because he talked nothing but the truth.
How painful is this today?
It's very painful. It's very painful. I mean, if you want to shed tears, you can shed tears. You know what I'm saying? You showing love. Enough respect to the Wallace family also.
That's right.
Exactly.
It's all about the Wallace family. Right now.
Hold on. My deepest consult to the Wallace family, Miss Wallace, Faith, Tatiana, and CJ, Little Biggie, and Little Kim. I can't forget Little Kim. I can't forget Little Kim.
I am.
All right. Because of his music, he reached out to people. There was no Biggie stores. I mean, rap came out with Sugar Hill and Back and all of them Biggie stores. You know what I'm saying? He came out with Ready to Die, then he laid back for 2 years. Then he got life after that. And for a CD to be $30, I'm gonna go buy it. Great. I'm buying another box. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! I mean, rap. Let's go! Let's go!
Okay, so we know that Dame Dash, Tata was Jay-Z's best friend. Jay-Z is there. There Jay-Z is right there. So Jay-Z attended the funeral for Biggie Smalls. So Jay-Z was in the building for Biggie Smalls' funeral. Him, Tata, Dame Dash. Who was he with? Hold on. Who was he with? Who was that right there, y'all? Who was that? Who is this right here? So you got Busta Rhymes there. Oh, was that Faith? Hold on now. I don't know Wolf like that, but that looked like Wolf. Is that Wolf right there? So that's Puffy right there. Hold on. So that's Puffy right there, y'all. That's him. Get into that. Here, let me see if I can. Okay, that's him right there. At his funeral.
SWV. Okay. Alright. Jay-Z. Hello.
Ma'am?
Mimi.
Q-Tip. Q-Tip, Tribe Called Quest. Talking to Parcell. Zulu Nation definitely showing their support. There go Files right there. Food Buster runs, talking, turning his head, he has a blue hat on. Shades. You see him with the hat on there? There you go. No, with the hand. Oh yeah, sure. Sure. So put on the phone and
So what's happening? Who is it? The one with the blonde is married? Yeah, married. And the one crying is who? Oh, little crab. Oh,
Little Kim and Mary J.
she's got a purple face. She usually was right. Where? Where? I don't see.
That's Puffy right there. That is Puffy. Yeah, that's Puffy. Keep your head up, Puff.
Listen here, let's get into a few things. Let's talk about the funeral. Let's talk about how Diddy he just seemed unbothered. Remember when, what's his name? TD Jakes had come to Puff Daddy's rescue? Let's talk about it. let's talk about Mary J. Blige and her antics and how she likes to swing off on her partners. If you all have not saw this already, I'm going to show you. If you were not aware that Mary J. Blige went off swinging on her ex-husband Ken Do, they were off at a club. They were chilling, hanging out, and here you go. Let's get into it. So this is Mary J. Blige right here, right there. You see her hitting her husband. That's Ken Do. So that's Mary right there. That's Ken Do. Right, so let's take that back. Mary J. Blige goes off on her husband and hit him. Go, Mary. Go, Mary. Beyonce and Jay-Z was there. Hold on. There's Beyonce. That's Beyonce right there. There's Jay-Z. Okay. Now listen here. Mary J. Blige, she likes to throw her hands too, honey. So, like brother, like sister? Is it like brother, like sister? Here, let me move out of Mary's way. What other topics did I have on the agenda tonight? Give me 1 second. Okay. I believe this is what I wanted to show y'all. This right here. Give me one moment. Oh, okay. Okay. So I'm going to cut my music down and then I'm going to bring this up for you all. I want you to take a look at this and tell me what y'all think. We're just going over certain little things tonight and we'll discuss like later on today. But this right here is going to be the inside the Biggie and Tupac on the live meds.
If you want your friend to live, we're gonna send a pyramid to you come over. I can't do that. We're last year in Beverly right now. Yes. Yeah, they're going to Cedars. Alright, we're going to Cedars. Okay.
Sir, how many people are hurt? It's one shot. Okay, they drove up next to us and just shot us the car on the passenger side. Okay. Take a left, man. Big, you hear me, baby? Yo, just go ahead, man. Go straight, yo.
Okay, we got to do this back a little bit.
In your car? No. Okay, you said you're going to the hospital? Right in front of me. What hospital are you going to? I don't know. I'm not from here. Let's go, man. You're close.
See the Sinai's the closest. We're on Cochran right now. We're going to have to go west, are we? Did a fire engine or anybody just pass? Yo, listen, you got to go back. You got to turn around, Jimmy. You're going the wrong way. What the fuck is wrong with y'all, man? What's wrong? What you doing? What kind of car was it? I don't know. I don't know what shit I'm on. I relax, dude. He's good, man. He's good. He's fucking hit, man. Do you know where he was hit at? I don't know. We're on Beverly right now. You're on Beverly? Beverly and Fairfax going up. We just That's only going to Cedars. We can't do that. Fuck. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
If you want your friend to live, we're gonna send a pyramid to you come over.
I can't do that. We're on Lafayette and Beverly right now. Yes.
Yeah, they're going to Cedars.
All right, we're going to Cedars.
Okay.
Okay, sir, how many people are hurt? It's one shot. Okay, they drove up next to us and just shot us the car and passenger down. Okay. Take a left, man. Big, you hear me, baby? Yo, just go ahead, man. Go straight, yo.
Doctors will later estimate that Biggie died shortly after being shot. In just 6 months, the music world has lost 2 of its biggest stars to murder, leaving fans to wonder, who shot Tupac and Biggie? It's a question the LAPD will ask Greg Kading in a federal task force to answer nearly a decade later.
Los Angeles Police Department Operator 239, what are you reporting? Yes, this is the Peterson Automotive Museum, and we need to get a car out here to clear out these people in front of our museum.
911 emergency.
There's a shooting on Wilshire and Fairfax.
You see anybody down?
I just see a Fairfax stop.
911 emergency operator 639.
Hi, I just heard several shots.
How many shots? Where are they?
1, 2, 3, 4, like 5.
Okay, a woman screaming?
I heard a woman scream, and I heard a car tear out.
Wilshire is responding to Wilshire and Fairfax. The victim is en route to Cedars-Sinai Hospital. Suspect vehicle is an aqua blue Impala. Additional incident 30.
In the 1990s, Suge Knight and his LA-based record label, Death Row Records, found themselves at the center of the infamous East Coast-West Coast rivalry, pitted against Sean Puffy Combs and his New York-based Bad Boy Records. This showdown between Suge Knight and Puffy Combs would culminate in the murders of Tupac Shakur and Biggie Smalls, 2 of the most famous rap artists in the world. There were several key moments that led up to that deadly conclusion. First, in November of 1994, before Tupac was signed to Death Row Records, he was beaten and shot during a robbery at a New York recording studio. By coincidence, Puffy and Biggie were in the same building when the robbery went down, leading Tupac to conclude that his former friends had set him up.
Tupac would eventually find out that Biggie and Puffy didn't have anything to do with setting him up at the Quad Studio. However, by that time, the damage was done.
The day after Tupac is shot at the Quad Studios, he's required to show up at the local courthouse because he's facing sexual assault charges from a year before. He ends up getting convicted and then sentenced to prison.
9 months later, in August of 1995, Suge Knight attends the Source Awards in New York City, Puffy's turf, and disses Combs on stage, with Puffy sitting in the audience.
Any artist out there want to be an artist and want to stay a star, don't have to worry about the executive producer trying to be all in the video, all on the record, dancing. Come to Death Row.
A few weeks later, September of 1995, Suge Knight and Puffy Combs wind up at the same nightclub in Atlanta, where a confrontation breaks out between their 2 entourages. As Suge is trying to leave, his close friend and bodyguard, Jake Robles, is shot and ultimately dies. Suge blames the shooting on Puffy and his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones. Meanwhile, Tupac has been languishing away in prison for months, unable to come up with the money to post bail while his case is appealed.
This prison, Clinton Correctional Center, was not Club Med. This was for badass convicted felons. and there were rumors that Tupac had actually been raped in prison, and he denied it. But he wanted out of there in a big way. His attorney was appealing it, but appeals take forever. And Suge Knight approached him.
Suge Knight recognizes this business opportunity. He approaches Tupac Shakur, and they cut a deal for him to do 3 records for Death Row in exchange for getting him out of prison on bail.
A lot of people thought that Tupac sold his soul to Death Row Records and to Suge Knight. And Tupac was with a guy who handled business differently than, say, people like Sean Combs. And that is where the thug image really came to be, was when he hooked up with Suge Knight and Death Row Records.
At a Christmas party in December of 1995, an associate of Puffy's named Mark Anthony Bell claims he was taken upstairs and beaten by Suge Knight, Tupac, and other members from Death Row.
According to Mark Anthony Bell's statement to the LAPD and the FBI, Suge Knight was trying to find the whereabouts of Puffy Combs' family residence in Los Angeles. As a result of this incident, it's clear now that Suge Knight is going directly after Puffy.
After signing with Death Row Records in LA, Tupac ramped up the rivalry through his music. Biggie had already released a track called Who Shot Ya, which was widely interpreted as taunting the shooting of Tupac in New York. In retaliation, Tupac released Hit 'Em Up, one of the most infamous diss tracks in rap history, where he bragged about sleeping with Biggie's wife and threatened to kill members of Bad Boy Records.
You claim to be a player, but I fucked your wife. Any you niggas from New York that wanna bring it, bring it. But we ain't singing, we bringing drama. Fuck you and your motherfucking mama. We gon' kill all you motherfuckers. Fuck Biggie, fuck Bad Boy as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. And if you wanna be down with Bad Boy, then fuck you too. Die slow, motherfucker. My fofo make sure all y'all kids don't grow. You motherfuckers can't.
In July of 1996, 7 months after the alleged beating of Puffy's friend in Los Angeles, a group of Southside Crip gang members encounter a group of rivals, the Mob Piru Bloods, at a mall south of LA. The Mob Piru Bloods were associated with Suge Knight, and in their group at the mall is a guy named Trayvon Lane, a close friend of Suge's, and he's wearing a Death Row necklace that Suge Knight only gave out to his inner circle of friends. One of the Southside Crips, a guy named Orlando Anderson, sees his coveted medallion around Trayvon's neck and steals it.
According to at least one confidential informant, Puffy was offering $5,000 to any Crip that could bring him a Death Row medallion.
September 7th, 1996, the day of Tupac Shakur's murder. Tupac and Suge Knight are attending a Mike Tyson fight at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada. Tupac has just recorded a new song for Tyson called Let's Get It On, which is played as Iron Mike enters the ring.
Oh no, Tupac with Team Tyson, seldom was seldom seen. Iron Mike cut his head like a guillotine.
Tupac Shakur and Suge Knight, they're sitting ringside in their $1,000 seats. For Tupac Shakur, it can't get any bigger than this. He's the most prominent rap star in the world. His friends, in the ring fighting to a song that he wrote. And Tupac is the center of attention.
During the fight, an FBI witness reported seeing an altercation between Suge and Tupac's entourage and some rival Crip gang members. One of the Crips told Suge Knight that he thought he was untouchable, to which Knight responded that he was untouchable. The Crip responded, "You can be touched." As Suge and Tupac's entourage are leaving the arena after the fight, they're walking through the MGM Grand when they encounter Orlando Anderson, the Crip who had stolen Trayvon Lane's Death Row medallion a couple of months earlier. Trayvon Lane just happens to be with Tupac when they spot Orlando Anderson loitering in the crowd.
Trayvon Lane whispers something into Tupac's ear, and immediately Tupac runs over and attacks Orlando Anderson. The rest of the entourage jump on. It's now just a big gang assault. Unbeknownst to them, the whole thing is being videotaped on MGM surveillance cameras. As the security starts to intervene, they all hightail it out of there.